YouTube, what is happening? Past the prop back here for another week of MLB action. Wow, it's already middle of June, man. We're flying through this MLB season. Joined as always by my guy Stu. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Like you said, MLB, it does not feel like we're this deep into it already. We're going to have the All-Star break coming up pretty soon. It doesn't feel like it at all, but I'm absolutely excited to keep it going. We had a good week last week, nice 9-3 on the player prop, so I'm ready to keep it going. You hit that long shot. That inspired me, and now I'm, playing all these long shots, so I don't know. I'm pretty excited, man. I think we got tons of good plays to give out today.
Yeah, no, it should be good. It's another one of those like spread out days. So we have some games throughout, some games split up. We have I think the Braves are in the early slate or early game by themselves, but not as big as we've seen on Mondays, but still bigger than what we expect. Right, a lot of Mondays can be kind of shitty. Getting 5-6 games. We have 8 or 9 today, so could be worse. And hopefully we'll be able to make you guys some money today.
Yeah, this slate, it's not the best. It's definitely not the best we've had, but like you said, and like we got through last year on Mondays, it was 2 games sometimes last year. You know what I mean? So if they're going to give us 7-8 games, then I'm happy. No Nationals on the slate, so have to figure out something for that. But yeah, it's still pretty good.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I believe, we go 2-2 last week?
Yep.
2-2 on the show last week. Shout out to the Rays again for just making life so easy on us, man. They're so fucking good. It's just such a team effort, too. I think Paredes was the guy that day. 2 homers, 7 RBIs, I believe it was. A double in there as well. Just absolutely went crazy. Again, Kikuchi didn't go. He had, in the first 2 innings, had 5 2-strike counts and end up with 1 strikeout in that time. So that was unfortunate. A lot of soft contact, which was impressive by him. Only 1 home run allowed, which is actually very impressive by him. So that one ended up going straight down the middle, nothing with the plus money spot. I guess that's the perks. Yuri Perez absolutely murdered that line. So that was not too shabby.
Yep, and then Ozzy Albies did take care of business against Washington. Obviously got the job done in that series. And then my guy, Wander Franco, unfortunately let me down right here in the hit parlay, despite the fact that I put Matt McLean in 20 bets, not that many. I've been in 10 bets so far, and he's been the winner in every single one. So shout out Matt McLean for staying strong despite Wander letting us down, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he keeps going 1 for 4s and then just will throw a 3 for 5 in there. I know he had a hit yesterday again. So, hey, he's been good for me. I grabbed him in fantasy, and definitely very nice to be able to plug and play into a shortstop position where there's not really too much. And I like how they're actually letting them stay at short. And, Ellie's playing third for a lot of these games when they're together. So, just an embarrassment of riches for these young guys here on this team. So, I'm excited to watch them going forward.
Yeah, no, and it too is weird. They were rotating them at AAA too earlier this year. They were switching them back and forth every game from third base to shortstop. Very, very funny. Like you said, literally embarrassment of riches. I bet on them yesterday. They got the job done. So shout out the Reds, one of my new favorite teams this year.
Yeah, no, they're fun to watch. Obviously, playing in Great American Ballpark definitely makes it a little bit more fun to watch as well. So, long shot, I believe I end up hitting the Cubs. I believe it was 1-1 or 2-0, or 1-0 through 5. And I should have taken the Braves first 5 under 2.5 as well, man. Fuck. But that's why I played it only as this and not a straight bet. But yeah, dude, it was 1-1 at the end, and then just absolutely exploded though in the 6th and 7th inning. So I did very good job this week. Played the Braves only 1 time as a stack. Didn't get killed by it in that one, but they were so popular all weekend. I just faded them, and I did pretty well doing that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I thought it was going to come every day, too. I thought that just Braves scoring 20 runs in the first 3 innings, I thought it was going to happen. And it Nationals did a pretty good job of holding it off for the most part. I thought the Trevor Williams start was definitely when it was going to happen. I thought he was going to get absolutely killed. Gave up that first inning home run to Olsen, but then steadied the ship a little bit. So good for them. I'm glad my Nats could not kill you in DFS this week as well. That's nice.
Yeah, no, it was good. I like I said, definitely got lucky because they were 22% owned as a full stack, which is pretty wild.
Yeah,
very high up there. I know the Cubs won. Did Acuna get a swipe for you or no? Might have lost Stu there for a second. You good?
Yeah, I cut out. Sorry about that. You got me?
Yeah, no, and it ain't me this time, dog. It ain't me.
Okay.
Mine's been good.
No, it's me. It's me. Yeah, no, that's my bad. My bad. Yeah, Acuna did not steal a base, unfortunately, that game.
Yeah, dude, it's just nice to like. Once I've reached out to StreamYard, bro, it's been so much nicer. I don't know whatever they did. If you guys are streaming shit and it's not working, just shoot them a message. Tell them because like these last since I've done it, it's been pretty nice. We've been rolling here on this end. So I guess we can get it going here. We got 15 of you guys in here first 6 minutes. Appreciate you. Hit that like button. Let's take a look at this slate. Stu, where are you looking at for our favorite game, or at least for you? Kind of nice not to have National on there, huh?
Yeah, I think it's probably the Giants-Cardinals game. I mean, Logan Webb, definitely one of my favorite guys to watch. Liberatore, he hasn't been as great. I mean, obviously he came up yesterday, then went back to the minor leagues and came back one of their top prospects. Very nice curveball stuff, but he hasn't been great so far. I expected definitely some better results. I think I bet on him privately a couple times, just expecting that huge strikeout start to happen, and then it never really has. And then now we get a Giants team who's actually hitting very well against lefties right now. I think that could be a pretty exciting game, maybe get some sparks to fly. So I'm going to be tuning in to support my guy Logan Webb tonight with no Nats on.
Beautiful. I love the Miller-Luzardo matchup tonight. That's definitely where I'm going. Have both of them in fantasy. Unfortunately, I already have Luzardo locked in. I might play Miller. I would either have to pull Senga and or Scherzer to put him in because I got Spencer Strider and Michael Kopech, who's deciding to be a beast now. So it's kind of a tough embarrassment of riches when I have Hader and Camilo Duvall in my two spots there. So it's like Miller was a pickup for me, but this seems like a good week to do it. He's a double week, double starts. So might have to find a way. I might have action on both sides here. I might have both pitchers. So that might be a game that I attack, especially in Seattle. Not as nice as Miami, but pretty damn close in terms of pitcher park.
Yeah, no, that'll be a good one for sure. As soon as I got to that one, obviously two exciting young pitchers in that one. Miller with two, rougher outings coming in, so we'll have to see how he bounces back right here. I'm definitely going to be watching. I believe, is that the only late night game, I think?
No, I think the Rays are because they're playing in Oakland.
You're right. They're in Oakland. That's a good point. So, yeah.
So they'll be out there, and I think there's Philly and Arizona. All of those start at the same time at 8:40, so interesting build to this slate. The first couple games kind of blow. Yeah. And then they give you three good games all at the end, besides obviously. I mean, good is not meaning the game to be close, but getting to watch the Rays is always fun. So, should be good. So, on that note, I guess we'll kick it to you to start us off. We'll go to that game we were just talking about with the A's Rays for you.
Sounds good. We're going Kaprielian over 2.5 earned runs, -130 over on BetMGM right now. I mean, this bet is pretty simple right here. It's a pretty easy fade. Kaprielian's over this number in 6 of his 8 starts so far this year, including a Rays matchup, which I forgot these two teams even played earlier this year. He gave up 7 runs in that outing. Pretty similar lineup we got going out here. I mean, it's pretty simple, right? Rays, one of the absolute best teams we have in the league. I mean, obviously they are a little bit better at home and on the road, but a phenomenal pitching matchup right here. And for me, the telltale sign to make these kind of bets is when you like everyone in the lineup, right? When you like Franco, when you like Diaz, you're looking at these pitcher splits and you're like, how do I bet all of these guys tonight? And then you kind of realize, well, why don't we, turn around and focus on the pitcher? Also, walks are something you got to be concerned about right here, but you kind of benefit from all of it in this bet right here. What I like too is they're actually stretching him out and letting him pitch a little bit more than you might expect to, right? Because that bullpen, like we've talked about, is rated out as the worst in the league and one of the worst we've seen, in recent memory right here. He is being stretched out. He's throwing 100 pitches in a lot of these outings. So even if he is keeping things relatively close, let's look at his best outing of the year, 7 innings pitched against the Rangers, still gave up 3 earned runs, throwing over 100 pitches in that one. So even when he is kind of cooking, this isn't a guy with high-end stuff that we have to be worried about shutting everything down. A good outing for him is getting out of this one with 3 earned runs allowed against the Rays. So pretty simple. I think the Rays take care of business. A lot of trust built up so far this year. And hey, we've been fading the A's pretty much as possible. Not on the money line like most people. If you're doing it that way, you're losing. If you're fading them on the spread, I normally fade them, through hit parlays and stuff like that. I think this is a good way to do it tonight, especially they've got a little hype coming in. I don't know if I'm buying it.
Yeah, no, I'm never be upset with fading Kaprielian. A lot of barrels, a lot of walks. Tough to want to get there. But yeah, definitely a spot I like for sure. Don't hate going to this Rays offense. The only thing I don't like is just the park. I mean, but that's every time. But he still gives up a shit ton of runs anyway. So like that spot. I'll be going to my first one here. It's gonna be a combo here. I'm going to Tyler Anderson to not record a win, which is only minus 210, which I was baffled, absolutely baffled by. And then Bryce Miller under 1.5 walks at plus 110. Let's just talk about Miller, man. Why is there? They're giving me this spot. I think it's like minus 220. I have to pull up my DraftKings where I just had it, but ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Why is this sitting at 1.5? Bryce Miller has walked 1.5 guys over once. And it was last outing where he got absolutely lit up by probably the best offense in baseball in the Texas Rangers. And these guys were just on an absolute tear. Mind you, it's a right-handed pitcher at home for the Rangers, right? Like, that is the worst combo you can have. The Rangers got Miller at home, right? That is a spot no pitcher wants to go right now. It doesn't matter who you are. You're getting lit up by these guys as a righty or a lefty in to Globe Life. Oh, I couldn't think of their name for some reason where it was. But Bryce Miller, yeah, that's a tough fucking spot. 2 1/3 inning, got 61 pitches, right? 8 hits, 2 walks. Yeah, I'd probably not want to throw the ball over the zone either with a team hitting like this. Now you get a matchup with Miami. You're in a nice park for pitching. Obviously, you want a bounce back spot. Miami, as a team, ranks 5th worst in terms of walk percentage, but they also, over their last 3, only 7% walk rate, only 7.2% at home. And only 7.5 on the road. Like, this is not a team that's looking to walk. You have free swingers in Soler, De La Cruz. All these dudes are up there trying to hack. Garrett Cooper. All these dudes. Arias is putting everything in play. Miller is a guy who only walks 3% of the guys. That's what his projection's at, right? Like, 3% of guys so far this year is wild, right? He's got 5 walks this year, right? Even in the minor leagues, right? He's been very good at keeping the ball in the zone. Inducing soft contact. He throws hard. He trusts his stuff and puts it over the plate. I just don't know why we're seeing this at 1.5. I think it's just probably recency bias because he just gave it up. But, dude, I would probably want to walk some of these Rangers, too, if I was sitting in this count after giving up 7 hits. So that side, I love. I mean, that might be my favorite parlay piece of the entire day. And then going over to Tyler Anderson here, dude, why is his only – I think it's 210 for Anderson, no win, dude. Fuck, I think I was going to play him at 3.5 earned runs at plus 120. Like, all these spots, I want to fade him to the moon, right? Everybody's looking at his stuff like, oh, his stuff isn't terrible, right? He's been a decent pitcher for a while, right? Dude's got a 14.5% K rate, 11% walk rate, right? He's an expected ERA over 5, and you're heading into probably the best offense at home in the MLB, right? They're better than the Rockies. They're better than the Rays, right? They're the best home hitting team. I don't get it. I really don't understand why DraftKings put it at 210. Even Dunning hasn't been shitty. I mean, I think the regression's coming, but fuck, Tyler Anderson has a 5.62 ERA and is expected as 5 at 0.05, right? So it's not like he's got regression positively coming there. You look at what he's throwing a lot of changeups to only right-handed bats. I mean, all right, Nathaniel Lowe smashes lefties. Corey Seager smashes lefties. It does not matter here, dude. There's just no swing and miss, giving up a lot of hard contact, and I don't want to ever back a pitcher in Texas right now. It is just impossible to do, and I actually really like this spot. I might actually add money onto it.
Yeah, I like this combo a lot. And like you said, that Anderson price is really weird for a no-win, too, at 210. I guess Dunning on the other end is maybe the only reason that it's that low, but I completely agree with you. That seems like a bad spot. And as for Miller, I think it's probably just young guys. I think a lot of these young guys come in and they walk a lot of people. And I think the general public consensus must be just bet walks overs, you know what I mean, on some of these young pitchers and assume that they're just going to be wild. But that's not actually, like you said, kind of looking in the data and seeing even in the minor leagues, he was actually controlling the walks pretty well. And yeah, the Rangers are what the Rangers are. I would walk 30 Rangers if I had to face them tomorrow, right? It's one of those situations. It's the scariest lineup we got in baseball right now. So I like this a lot. You did tell me you had a weird one. You know, you had some weird combos, and a no win and an under walks is definitely different. But I do like the angles a lot. I think those are really good prices.
Yeah, plus money on those for, I mean, what are the Angels to win today? Is it just even? Like, you know what I mean? Like, this team is so damn good at home. Like, I can't imagine that the number would be too far off anyway for their full stuff there, right? And I mean, Angels, I do like the over 1.5 walks for Anderson, but I don't know how far he gets into this game, to be honest. That's why I was looking at the under outs. But I just think that this team's just going to hit around. I don't really, as just looking at Texas as a team, I think they're bottom half in terms of walks. I think 8.5%. So I don't think they're going to be 135. Like, I don't understand how his no win is only sitting at that. I'm pretty sure him to record a win is plus 150. And if you just look at this, right, I'm looking at Texas's. I understand the bullpen isn't good, and the Angels has been better. But again, you look at the best sides of this game. You take all four sides. The Rangers' offense, in my opinion, is above and beyond the number one team and portion of this game, quarter of this game. And I don't think it's relatively close.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. I'm not sure I get this price either, to be honest.
Yeah, so now I'm kind of nervous because I like it too much. But it's all right. All right, we'll get to plays number 2 and 3 here, or 3 and 4. 135. I don't know. All right, let's get it going here. If you guys have any questions, drop them in there. We're a little bit over 20 of you guys in here, 23 of you in here. Thank you guys for tuning in again here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And we will get to plays 3 and 4 here. I'll kick it over to you. I like that spot already.
Sounds good. We're going over to Marcus Semien over 1.5 total basis, minus 105. Before anything else, just good play on the odds. One of the hottest hitters in baseball. He's been like minus 130 every single day. So to get him at minus 105 today over on FanDuel was definitely a good sight. But you just talked about Anderson a good amount, and I kind of want to build on that too. This is a guy that's only striking out 10% of right-handed batters so far this year. That's pretty insane. And then you combine that with a 40% fly ball rate, right? So once you actually do get the barrel on the ball, people are doing some pretty crazy things. Everything else is it's the walks, right? That's the problem. We want to avoid the walks. We want to avoid the singles and stuff like that. So when you're looking at building a hit parlay or building, a batter prop at all, I think for me, it was quite obvious to go to total bases right here because I think it's going to have to be on one swing, right? We're not going to get too many at bats against Anderson, probably 2, maybe 3 if he's having a good outing right here. Obviously the bullpen isn't ungodly scary either, especially with how hot Semien's been doing. But when you look at his recent stats, pretty much every time, and I think we even covered this on the show the last time I had hits, runs, RBIs, you're pretty much like, he's one of those guys I like going to for total bases because he's hitting the crap out of the ball. And when he's not hitting it, he's not making contact. You know what I mean? It's not worth it to play him for a base hit right now, right? Where if you look at his most recent game logs, pretty much every time he has a hit, he has 2 total bases in that game, whether it's a multi-hit game, whether it's a double or anything like that. So when we look at Semien splits, they're very consistent versus lefties and righties, home or away so far this year. He's around that 300 range, been very, very average. And I just like fading Anderson in this one. It's pretty simple, right? The fly ball rate is high. He's struggling. You mentioned the changeup. That should be the out pitch right there. When your out pitch isn't striking guys out, right? When it's not working, then you're kind of a sitting duck up there. I think that's why we're seeing all those walks. I think why we are seeing all that hard contact. And I think Semien should be able to take advantage. So we're going to one of the hottest hitters in baseball in a very, very scary lineup right now. I think he starts his team off very well. And hey, I don't mind the hits, runs, RBIs either, but I just didn't really want to find a parlay piece for it because you got to pay minus 150 for that when I think these are very, very good odds.
Yeah, no. And like I said, the only thing that's tough for me is just the walk portion of it. But hey, they're going to have guys coming out of the pen as well. I know Matt Moore is like one of their top guys, which is wild to me. And I mean, if you look at the Rangers, right, the Rangers get into these shootouts because their bullpen's ass. But if they get up in the first 5 and I get to see, middle of the pack arm out of their bullpen here early for the Angels, maybe they can put them away early. And that's going to be coming from obviously Semien, Seager, Adolis, man, just embarrassment of riches. They're probably going to be DHing Mitch Garver, right? I mean, dude, this lineup is wild. And you really can't walk Semien because if you do, then you're kind of fucked. Because looking at Tyler Anderson's stuff here, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit more in a second, like using 33% of his pitches as changeups here, right? And that's almost all 2 right-handed bats. Like, how the fuck are you going to get Corey Seager out? How are you going to get Nathaniel Lowe out, right? Like, what are you going to do? Because usually a lot of these teams always want to go righty-lefty, right? That's usually what they want. But, man, you're taking away a pitch that he throws 33% of the time. You'd be looking for a four seam and maybe a cutter, right? Like, I mean, this is not a lineup here that I want to be messing around with like that. So, yeah, I'll be talking about it a little bit here. And this is my other one. I'm going to be taking an alt total. So this is a FanDuel one. You just go to first five, and then there on the bottom of it, it'll say alternate total runs. That's at 4.5. It's like minus 205, 210. And then I'm going with Justin Turner to report a hit here today. So I'm going to start out with, I guess I'll just finish up on the Rangers here. I don't hate the negative regression on Dane Dunning. I think that's coming. I think the runs will be coming. But, I mean, I just think I truly believe that I think that the Rangers can get 4 runs here. Like I would not be surprised. Like I wanted to take Tyler Anderson's earned runs, but I'm like, this is the best of both because I already think that he's going to be kind of giving up some runs here soon in Dane Dunning, right? I think that even if the bullpens do come in early, could see some runs coming in from those guys. I like both offenses. Obviously, the Rangers have the better offense. This is an impossible spot to pitch in when you're facing Texas in Texas. Very tough spot. And then going to Justin Turner, not the greatest righty on righty, right? I mean, against lefties this year, he's batting 304. Righty on righty, he's batting 250. But he's been using the monster perfectly, right, when he's at home. And he's getting a home matchup against Connor Siebold. We saw him go yard yesterday, which is obviously love to see guys that are kind of feeling pretty good about themselves. But he's batting almost 300 at home so far this year. You look at Connor Siebold, he actually has reverse splits like we do see with some of these guys who feature cutter changeup stuff. And against righties this year, 494 slugging, 282 batting average against. He's actually doing just as bad away from Coors than he is at Coors, right? He's got a 4.9 ERA at Coors, 5.4 away from it. You're in Boston, obviously an impossible spot to pitch in. It's supposed to be hot as hell. And if that ball is going to be flying today, I think that obviously we want to be back in the side that Seabold sucks against. And I think that as much as it's weird to me to be betting Justin Turner at like almost minus 300 odds, I think with this total, which I like a lot, bringing me to almost that, pick 'em price tag, I'll definitely take that in a spot here. Yeah, sorry, I was reading this. For me to want to back here. It's tough because Anderson still has the potential to switch and become the pitcher. I mean, bro, I don't know where you're thinking that this is going to happen. Like, the only time I've seen him do well this year is against my Brewers, and he fucking shoved on us, but every lefty shoved on us. I'm thinking he's saying that he's going to be good, has the potential to switch. I mean, dude can't even touch 90 anymore. He can't get swings and misses. Like, if you want to bet on him giving up, like, I bet you in the first 5 innings, I'm going to put this out there. I bet you in the first 5 innings, there's at least 7 balls hit over 100 miles an hour in that game. And if you want to bet that those get caught, be my guess, it's baseball. I mean, that's why baseball is so up and down. Like, you can beat the pitcher, right? You can have a great at bat and still not get anything to show for it. That's what makes baseball so frustrating. What makes it so fun. And that's why, I mean, like, the ability to succeed in baseball is a lot harder than any other sport. Like, you look at any one of these teams, any one of them could be the number one team in terms of runs scored today. Even the A's against F1 tonight. Like, it wouldn't even surprise me, right? It's just that's how baseball is. But if you're going to rely on a guy who I know is going to let the ball get put in play with probably 6 dudes this year who are going to end up with over 25 home runs, maybe more. If Garver can get over 20, like, I mean, you could have a whole lineup betting with over 20 homers in this. So it's like, I don't want to be betting that, especially when I'm going to have to sit on the edge of my seat and watch this dude just give up absolute daddy hacks to these dudes, swinging as hard as they can in the amount of power they have. It'd be really tough for me to want to even think about betting on Tyler Anderson today.
Yeah, and we do know there are these kind of pitchers that can kind of switch on a dime, right, and instantly turn things up. But I think the way that we both navigate that is you got to look at their underlying stats, right? You got to check out the baseball savant. Like you said, you got to check out the velocity and see, okay, are these guys actually getting screwed, right? Is the BABIP really bad? Like, what are the other factors that are actually making sure these guys are getting screwed? But when you look at a guy like Anderson and none of those indicators are there, then I think it becomes a little bit more safe to fade people. So just like, yeah, I know know not everyone is like super in the weeds of baseball and stuff like that, but luckily with all this data we have available, we can more clearly see regression candidates, guys that are hitting the ball hard all the time and just getting screwed on it. Well, you can't really see that in any other sport besides baseball. So I think just to go a little deeper into that, I think if you kind of look at those underlying stats and really see that nothing is telling you things are going to be turning, that's when it becomes a little bit safer to bet on these inconsistent pitchers.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And and you don't want to see a guy who's got, I think, 1% difference in his strike rate and walk rate. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like that right there is enough to tell you right there. So let's I think Andrew brought up Maryland. Oh man, this is tough. Marlins or Mariners? I mean, if I'm betting anything, I'm probably betting on the under. To be honest, I don't like really either one of these offenses. They've been both sputtering as of late, except for when Miami went to Colorado and just nuked those guys. Coming off a high, I think they won yesterday on a comeback. But I if I had to pick a side, I'd probably pick the Marlins. That's just me wanting to back Luzardo in this matchup. I think he's been fantastic in being able to find the zone there. So, but I think that it deserves to be as close as it is. I don't have a strong side, but I'd rather take the under at least first five maybe, or team total unders like that. All right, Stu, you got a long shot for us, or you just want to go recap and roll it through?
Yeah, I got my long shot right now, so I'm good for whenever.
Yeah, let's we can recap it here quick, and then we'll get to your long shot. I'll get it all typed up.
Sounds good. Started out with Semien over 1.5 total bases, -105 over on FanDuel Sportsbook. Then we went over to the Athletics right here, and we went with Kaprielian over 2.5 earned runs, -130 over on BetMGM.
All righty, let's go. Anderson, no win. Miller, under 1.5 walks on DK, +110. Justin Turner to record a hit with an alternate first five on FanDuel at 4.5 there for the Rangers Angels. All right, Stu, what is that long shot you got for me? I don't even have anything typed up for you.
Ellie De La Cruz, stolen base, +330. FanDuel Sportsbook is our long shot. If you're in my Discord, you got this at a little bit better price last night, but 330 is still available on FanDuel as opposed to like 280 on DraftKings right now. I mean, pretty simple. The guy has 3 infield hits so far, so he's getting on base kind of any way you want it, even if he's not smashing the ball. Greinke is not someone I'm obviously scared to steal against whatsoever. Just incredible speed. He declared it himself, guys. He's the fastest man in the world. I'm not here to prove him wrong. He's been killing it for us so far. I think the price is good. I don't think this price will be very good for long. So I want to take advantage of a good number right here. And I know he's a young guy. He strikes out a lot, all that kind of stuff. But I do see the ability to get on base against Greinke, obviously a soft contact hitter going up against a guy who's, like I said, been legging out those infield hits so far. And then Greinke, he's not throwing gas. He's throwing 90 miles an hour with a bunch of junk. Very easy kind of guy to steal on right here. I think Ellie goes if he gets on base. So I love this price right here. I think he keeps it going for us.
Yeah, I had it yesterday, so that was nice. I did play him yesterday for that. So that was like 500, bro. It was fucking wild. Why are you giving me a +500 on this dude? Like, dude is so fast. They were giving McLean at like 800. Like,
I know. Oh,
disgusting. And he just doesn't want to run, bro. I don't understand his ass. But all right, so yours is how much? How high is it?
330. FanDuel.
All right. Well, I'll degen out a little bit here, huh? Let's go. +1520. And I am going to get this. I got to make sure I put an initial here because there's a few of these guys with the same last name on there. So I'm going to go another one of my combos here. I'm going Josh Lowe for his stolen base, +260. I love fading Kaprielian, especially on the walks. They're probably getting that leadoff spot. Obviously, I don't like having them have the ability to pull guys right mid-game because Harold Ramirez usually does bat versus the lefties. But if you look in this bullpen, I think they only have one lefty that they use primarily. I think it's Mole, but they've been using him as an opener. So it's like, where are you going to use him here? So I'm expecting to see Fujiyami and those types of guys coming out of that pen. Zach Jackson those types of guys out of the bullpen. That's how you know I watch too much, because I know actually the guys in that bullpen of that disgusting Oakland bullpen. So Josh Lowe, definitely like that at 265. I think that's a fair price. But I also really like James Paxton, and he's probably going to be my other starting pitcher, at least for DK today. I think that's going to be a spot I want to go to. Let's just look at the Rockies so far this year. They're second worst in the MLB versus left-handed pitching. I do want to see him get deeper in games, and I think that's why we're seeing this price where it's at. It's like $350 for 10 Ks for Paxton, but if he got a little bit deeper in these games, I think we'd start to see this number get to a pretty, plus 220, 240, because Paxton has elite stuff, has a fantastic fastball, great off speed, 29% K rate versus lefties so far this year for the Rockies, but they absolutely do not have any power, right? That's the tough part, is only a 366 slugging versus lefties this year. Let's put this in perspective here. You go to the Rays, they have a 550, right? That's how good that team is against lefties. But even if you look at like the Rangers, 462, 400s, there's only 7 teams in the 300s for slugging, and the Rockies are second worst in that category. You know who's last? Obviously, my Brewers. So really love this spot for James Paxton. I think 10 Ks. This is a spot that you have to play them separately, right? You can't play them both, but I always do. I gotta get a little bit of big price in there, right? We won the long shot, but it wasn't really my type of long shot, right? It was only 375, right? It was still nice, but 15-1 on, I think the low one is he's gonna run if he gets on first, right? That's what's nice, especially Wander being in that 2 spot, or if he's gonna bat 3, like. If you're ahead, if Wander's in front of you, right? My God, dude, that guy can hit with 2 strikes better than anybody, right? Same thing with Yandy Diaz. All these dudes have extreme bat control, have fantastic guys behind them. They're going to have to attack them. So I think we could see Lowe go pretty early in this one, and then Paxton 10 Ks. We're going to go with Big Maple, baby. Let's see it. Let's see him go crazy today.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess the only thing is Paxton 10 Ks not being like 10-1 is kind of crazy alone. I know it's a great matchup. I know he has amazing K stuff, but I'm definitely not used to seeing Paxton at 7.5 Ks as just his base number. Like I went to go try to build this myself thinking I might get better odds, and it was the same as you did. So that's the only part that caught me off guard, I guess. But like Bart said in the chat, obviously great spot start if you're a fantasy guy for Paxton. Incredible matchup right here. Great strikeout stuff. Just that number caught me off guard, to be completely honest. But I do like both those spots a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing that's really nice for me is he just got 9 Ks versus the Guardians, bro. Like, that should tell you the type of stuff this dude's bringing. Like, the Guardians aren't even swinging hard, bro. They're just literally trying to put the ball in play, and you got 9 Ks on them. He's throwing 100 pitches in back-to-back outings, right? He's in the 90 percentile plus in whiff rate and K percentage, right? I mean, he's striking out a third of these batters with only a 3. I mean, his expected ERA is right where it needs to be. It's almost the exact same as his normal, so I'm not expecting anything too crazy, but this is a very tough lineup. Like not tough, like gross. I didn't mean it in like It's gross. Like it's really tough to look at. A lot of their power guys from the left side, like Doyle and them, bro. Like fuck, I am worried about them. Right, Blackman's out. Oh my God, I don't even know what Chris Bryant's doing. I don't know where he is. Like probably sleeping. CJ Crone, like bro, what the fuck is this lineup? It's gross, dude.
We need CJ Crone. Like, at least he was the Dinger Tuesday pick last year. You'd be like, fuck the Rockies all week, and then you bet him on Tuesday, and he'd hit a home run for you at like plus 260. They don't even have that anymore. And like you said, Chris Bryant, even when he was playing, the dude had more home runs at Coors Field before he was a member of the Rockies than he did as a member of the Rockies at Coors Field. So even when they do get their guys back, they still need.
I think we lost Stu there for a second. Hopefully he's hyping up my guy in his little buffering session there. So we'll hopefully I think he just said James Paxton's the GOAT. That's all I think I heard from him.
I got too fired up. They had to stop me. The internet was getting word of what I was saying. They were worried I was going to jinx another player, and then we're good. Did you see, by the way, before we get out of here, I shit talked Jake Rogers last game. Random
Homer, baby.
Picked a random name. first at bat homer, just instantly. It's every guy that I think he had 2 home runs that game, by the way. I'm pretty sure he had 2 homers for the first time in his career that game. So, I got to be careful. I got to start using these powers for good because this is insane. Like, that was a random name. I just picked the most random player I could think of in the league to insult. No offense, obviously. I know he's listening now, and he hits 2 homers that day. So I'm going to shut up for a little bit.
Yeah, dude. You hate on Kevin Porter? Triple-double. You hate on all these guys, and they just start saying, hey, it's time to go, baby. You got to love it. Stu, quick one. Terrence is let's do a quick one. Quick recap again here, and then before we head out, we gotta answer Terrence's question. I'm sure we'll talk about it a little bit on Wednesday as well. We'll go through all of ours quick for the 25 people in here. Let's do it quick, and we'll get to Terrence's question.
Sounds good. Semien over 1.5 total bases minus 105 on FanDuel. And then we got Kaprielian over 2.5 earned runs allowed minus 130 on BetMGM. Finally, stolen base Ellie De La Cruz plus 330 over on FanDuel.
Beautiful. I'll be on a parlay here. Paxton 10Ks plus 360 on its own. Play that. Low stolen base plus 260. I'd play that separately as well. Both of those plus 15, 20. Justin Turner hit with the alternate first 5 over 4.5 on FanDuel. Over on DraftKings, it is Anderson, no win. Miller under 1.5 walks. Stu, before we head out, Terrence got a question. Who you like for the U.S. Open? I know who are you going to go with?
Well, I already have Joaquin Niemann as my one bet play so far at 125 to 1. Obviously, one of the live guys coming over. For me, this is a course. You got to have some length, right? I know we love our Cam Smiths, our chippers, and everything like that. You got to hit the ball a million miles. I think Niemann actually is great for the price right there. So that's one of my picks so far locked in. That's the only one I have bet so far. Do you have anything in yet?
Yeah, you need irons, dude. You need to have.
You need irons at every major, thoe.
But no, that's why I'm going with Xander. I'm going to take Xander. I think he's at 21 to 1. I mean, my golf has been pretty good, bro. I've been feeling pretty good on how I've been doing on golf. So Niemann, I love Niemann. Like, he's one of my favorite guys. So I'm not going to talk on that. But I'm going to be betting on Xander. He's going to be probably my top ticket guy. I don't think I'm going to go any higher than that because, damn, some of these prices are short, bro. For how good this field is, I can't bet on some of those guys at the top. Even though obviously majors, the cream rises. But I would love to see him get his first one here. You know, Xander been kind of just trucking along lately and hasn't been doing too well lately. But I'm going to be rolling with him in this spot. And I feel pretty good about it. Give me 20 to 1 on Xander. It's always a nice price tag.
Yeah, I will not be betting on Xander. I like to bet on guys that win tournaments as opposed to guys that come in second, third, fourth, or fifth.
Hey, we can do a straight bet, whatever you want to do. I'll make a lineup against your lineup. I've been watching way too much goddamn golf every single week. I am betting on golf and watching golf, so we're in it. I'm in the weeds on this, bro. Yeah. So I'm ready. If we want to make one, let's make one.
Well, yeah, let's see. To hype up Wednesday, at the end of Wednesday's show, how about we go head-to-head on a DFS lineup, right? Whoever gets more.
Yeah, we can roll that, baby. I'm ready. I got to make mine yet. I'm going to probably make mine tonight.
Sounds good. Yeah, I gotta get in the lab as well. I know you've been lapping me in the golf knowledge. So if anyone does care about golf, you can join us, on Wednesday. Obviously, at the very end of the show, we'll sneak in. We're gonna go head to head so you can build a better DFS lineup. And maybe even we do a group thing like we did before. Not a bad idea. So we'll work out the details on that. But I do appreciate everyone coming in and checking out our MLB plays today. We'll have more of them on Wednesday. So, and if you like golf, that's good too.
Yeah, it's always fun. I'll be golfing this weekend, a lot of stuff. So I'm excited. So have a good one, guys. Best of luck. We had the recap about a couple minutes ago. If you missed it, I know a lot of people just tuned into the end. So go back about 3 minutes. Should have all the stuff there. And appreciate you guys tuning in. Hit that like button on the way out. We'll see you Wednesday, probably early. But make sure you follow both of us on Twitter to make sure you know when we're going live. So have a good one, guys, and best of luck. We'll talk to you on Wednesday.